last night in Paris. And if you read our title, you know we made a few mistakes along the way. And we're now going to share them with you.
As you know, Paris has long lines, and we skipped the lines by skipping most of everything that we were supposed to do. When we left Dublin, we met this great young man named Rishi, and he, before we left, gave us a whole list of to-do things while we were here in Paris. And we were setting off to do every single one of them, and what we did do was just a scratch of what we were supposed to do. So we told Jill tonight on the way home, I felt like a failure.
Right. We were reviewing about the things we accomplished while we were here. And Mark, especially you, were feeling really bad about, we didn't do this, we didn't do this, we didn't do this. And I started to think, well, we did have fun though. We had a great time, right? We had a great time. We have to do what's right for us and not what's on the checklist.
Right.
But it still is kind of sad that we didn't miss a lot of events that we probably should have seen.
Well, you keep telling us, well, we're not on vacation, so we just need to keep living our lives. So we keep living our lives being lazy.
Well, it wasn't a complete failure, but we now will share with you what we did and where we made our mistakes.
So what did we do on day one?
On day one, it started out great. We got here, we quickly took a walk over to the...
Well, first of all, we got here late in the afternoon.
True, that's true, and we were hungry.
We left Dublin, and once we left Dublin, I don't think we got here until like almost 3 o'clock, or it was a little after 3:34, something like that.
Right.
So it's not like we had the full day, we only had a partial day.
That's true. So we did get right to the list though and went to the Marché d'Enfants Rouge. It's a market, a very popular market here, and everything was closed. We were planning to eat there, but remember all the stalls were closed. I think we were on the wrong day. So by luck, we stumbled upon La du Falafel.
Yeah, and that was the bomb.
It was in that area and it was so good.
Yeah, so we love any kind of Mediterranean food. And that place gave us a significant amount of food, which you'll see in one of the photos. But I was pleasantly surprised, and yeah.
It was very busy, always a good sign.
Yeah, so Jill, when we got there was a line going out the door, and there was a line, and Jill thought the line that was for the takeout line was the door. And I was like, oh my gosh, there's like 50 people in line. It was crazy. But yeah, so there was a line still just to get in, but it was very small. So we got in actually quite easily, and the food was terrific,
great,
and plenty
really
of
good.
it. So I left with a nice full belly. It was great.
So that was a win. That night was a win.
Yeah, super.
So the next day we hit the ground running to go to that beautiful neighborhood of Montmartre. I don't know if I'm saying that right. Everyone loves that. It's the home of the Sacre-Cœur Basilica. And it's a beautiful neighborhood, very, very crowded. You have to be prepared for the crowds. It's quite a hike up many stairs. Remember, we went up a lot of stairs, but very beautiful and beautiful views. That's where all the art scene seems to be happening. There's artists sketching, people everywhere, all kinds of cafes and places to get drinks. And so we sat down and had a...
Yeah, it was quite warm that day. We sat down and had a $14 Coke.
I think it was one Diet Coke that we split, right?
Yeah, yes. I think so. Maybe not even the full thing. We got a glass with a couple of ice cubes in it. And yeah, so anyways, we were kind of surprised. I was taken back, but it was a nice area. Yeah, but it was just so crowded at the time that, viewing a lot of things just wasn't going to happen just for the fact of how many people were there. But it was beautiful, and it had a nice vibe to it for sure.
That was nice. And
the nice thing, when you got to the top, you can really see some views, and you'll see some photos of that as well. But some of the views from the top were amazing, I thought. So and it kind of gives you an idea of the layout of how things are laid out in town as well.
Right, and we did a ton of walking. Partly because we are scared of the metro. And I know everybody says, go to these cities and get on the subways, the tube in London, the metro. Oh my God, it's so stressful getting on these trains. So in some ways it's good that we did so much walking. We were averaging over 20,000 steps a day.
Yes,
so that was good.
Every time we get home, we would put on our health, on our iPhone. Right. It would say that you walked an average of 8 miles the last 4 or 5 days. Yeah, whatever. So yeah, so we've done definitely a lot of walking. And partially I think that when you're walking, you're really seeing things for what they are. When you're taking a train, you're not really seeing the neighborhood, you're not seeing the people, you're not seeing what's going on. So yeah, it is a little bit stressful for us to take that. There's no question about it. But I think number one is that, for the first couple days, we really enjoy walking it and really getting to know the neighborhoods. I like that. So
very much so. I think it was helpful because Rishi told us to walk through this neighborhood, walk through the Marché and then the Latin Quarter. So we did just really cover that, and we couldn't cover it as well if we had.
And Rishi again is the nice man we met at the young man that we met at the last hotel in Dublin. So he loves it here, and so he was so nice. He gave us, I don't know, a list of like 50 things to do, and so that I thought that was very nice. But again, that was on the list as well. So yeah, it was great.
Okay, so day 3 we started out really good. We got up, we went to the Arc de Triomphe and did the tour. We bought a pass to get through the line a little faster and went to the top. It was very interesting and great views. So
and just getting there was amazing. So on the way there was a bunch of planes above us, and they were like jet planes, like fighters, and they had colors coming out of like red and blue, and they had at least 40 or 50 planes going by. And that was quite neat. We don't get to see that every day. So
right.
It was in celebration of Bastille Day, which is like 4th of July for France. So it was amazing though, yeah. And again, getting there, we walked, like good 4 to 5 miles probably. And we saw a lot of stuff along the way. But yeah, it was a really, really beautiful. And that whole area, I thought it was beautiful going down that street. So
yeah, the Champs-Elysees.
Yeah, Champs-Elysees.
Obviously,
yep.
It's amazing.
Don't ask me to remember one street name because I can't remember anything. I was just telling Jill my age is really showing up in my mind. I can't remember anything. So,
but yeah, that was good. And so we did that, and right after that, we got over to the Seine cruise. We did the cruise. It was very crowded. I don't know if I would recommend that one.
Not that one. Maybe a different one. But that one had so many people that if you actually slowed down to hesitate when you were showing them that you had a ticket, they were freaking out. So yeah, it was not. It was just it was just made you. Yeah. I would probably spend money and do that cruise, but maybe do it with some sort of like drinks or.
Maybe. They do have dinner cruises, but we thought, dinner cruise, will the food be any good? And so we opted for the hour long. But probably the best thing to do would be
definitely spend a little bit more money because I think you'd have a better experience. And they didn't even tell us really what the names of the different buildings were, the area that we were seeing. So I think that by spending extra money, you would have a really good experience. Yeah, but the way we saw it, it was just on the cheap. I think it was like $30 or something like that. Right. So yeah, we got what we paid for. So yeah, but it was really cool being on the water, and everybody waves to each other, and they're all having like little parties on the sides as you're coming down the canal, and there's like little bands and stuff. And anyways, I thought that was kind of cool.
That's true. One highlight of that day I think this was the highlight of that day. We went walking and we ate at that little Greek restaurant, and we met an amazing young woman from Poland. Her name was Sophia. Yeah. She was so sweet. We had a great conversation with her. She's a student studying law, going to study law in Spain, but she was visiting a friend, and we just had a great conversation. Yes. And that's one of the best things about our new life is we have the time to just sit and have a leisurely lunch or dinner and strike up a conversation with someone. And she was just such an interesting young woman.
Breath of fresh air too, yeah. And she had not one bit of an accent, what I found amazing. She was amazing. Yeah, amazing girl. So yeah. She was great. But yeah, that's what makes traveling really worth it. It's people like her for sure.
Right.
Yes.
It's really nice. Okay. Here's the start of some failures. The next morning, we had decided we would go out to Giverny, it's called, and you take a train to Vernon, the little town. It was only about an hour, I would say, to go see Monet's home and garden. And we got up a little bit late, got a little bit of a late start.
And we decided to go to the gym before we left for some reason. Don't ask me why we did that. We should have done it when we got back, but no.
So we got there, and then we rented a bike.
We rented 2 bikes.
Rented bikes.
Yeah.
Went on this beautiful ride, actually.
Well, first we got there, she goes, "You're gonna rent a bike now?" And we said, "Yeah." And she goes, "Well, we're only open for 4 more hours. That's it." And it was a half an hour ride just to get there, probably. I'd say 30 or 35 minutes, something like that.
True.
And us with our directions, of course, we always get lost, so you have to give us more time than less. But anyways, we rented the bikes, finally got there, and locked the bikes up. And what happened next, Jill?
Oh, well, first of all, we have to say the ride was so beautiful.
Oh, yeah.
It was such a beautiful bike ride. That made the whole thing worth it. It was just
really
like,
did.
It felt like you were out in the country. It was just such a breath of fresh air from the city.
It really was.
So we get there, we get to Monet's village, or no, is it Monet? Yeah, his village, and we start walking around, we're looking at everything, kind of taking our time, and then we thought we were walking through the garden, but then we realized that wasn't the garden, and by the time we made our way over to the actual house, it was closing, and only was open for 15 more minutes. So we didn't get to go into the house, and we didn't get to see Monet's gardens.
No, it was a little depressing.
If we would have just gotten there half an hour sooner.
Well, the crazy thing is that we were actually there. We just didn't know that that's what it was.
Right.
So, yeah, it was depressing.
Epic fail.
Yeah, epic
our
fail
part.
for sure. Yeah, she looked at us, and I looked at her, and I go, "I remember seeing you," and she just started laughing. But yeah, it was like we had already been there, and that people were coming out, and I'm like, "Can we still go in?" She goes, "Absolutely not. We're done." In fact, we went this whole way and we didn't even get in. But I got to tell you, when we leave the city and we get to go and take these rides out in the country that are so beautiful, and I got to tell you, I don't know, the countryside here is just breathtaking. It really is beautiful.
It was. That made it worth it. But we were both kicking ourselves. Like, we're right here, and we missed the tour of his home and the gardens.
Yeah,
So,
and I would highly recommend doing it. Just being in that area is gorgeous. And the town you actually land in off the train is called Vernon, correct?
yes.
Yeah, so in Vernon's a cute town too. And that night, actually on the way back, so I don't know what time we left, but everything was closed pretty much at that point. But we decided to walk through town a little bit, and we met another couple that lives in the U.S. And it was interesting. At dinner, we started talking to them. But they live in the U.S. They were born in Egypt. Yeah. And so they spoke French. They said they learned how to speak French there from their parents. They speak the native tongue of Egypt, which I'm not really sure it is, and they spoke great English. So
and they were from San Francisco, living in San Francisco.
Yeah, and they were actually staying there for 3 months, they said. But yeah, interesting couple. And again, when you travel, the people you get to meet, it's just great. I mean, we talked to them for at least a half an hour. So yeah, great people. So, yep. That was awesome.
Yeah, so that day was over. We had to put missing that out on that behind us.
Talk about feeling like a loser.
The next morning, we got to get up very early to go on a tour to Versailles.
Mm-hmm.
So this was a tour. So we met at a little coffee shop and then went to the train station. Took the train with the group.
It was with the same tour company that we had taken in Dublin, right? Was it Dublin?
Yes, it was. Get Your Guide. Yes,
Yep.
It was. And it was some good things about it, some not so good things about it. You got your bike, and we thought that would be more of the palace, biking around the palace, seeing more of the palace. Well, it was a lot of riding a bike here, getting off, doing this, and it was not very well organized. So we did get to ride bikes.
Talk about how it started. So basically what happens, when you start, once you're there in Versailles, you all get a bike, and then you take the bike and you ride for like 2 minutes, and then you go to
the market.
The market, yeah, and you go shop. And if anybody knows us, we don't really do a lot of like lunch. That's not really, I think we usually eat breakfast and then, have a snack, and then we do dinner. But so anyways, we just sat there with the tour guide and basically just chatted with him for a little bit. So he was also an American from, I think, New Mexico, he said. So anyway, so it's kind of funny that we had a guy from the U.S. giving us all the information on France. But
right.
Yeah, so anyways, everybody bought all their stuff. And then we get back on the bikes after like maybe 45 minutes of people shopping.
Right.
And from there, you take it.
So then we drove around the gardens, I would say, or the paths. There's a lot of bike paths, which was pretty, really nice. Then we stopped and had a lunch, right?
Yeah.
A picnic.
But while everybody did that, Jill and I decided to take our bikes for a ride, because that was really the only ride we got the whole day. Besides that, it was like riding for 2 minutes and then you get off. Riding for 2 minutes and you get off. There really wasn't a point of even having a bike on this tour.
No. But we did get to ride the grounds, and that was pretty. But then he said, okay, now we're taking the bikes back, And then you have your pass to go through the Palace of Versailles on your own.
Yes.
So everybody kind of then turns in the bikes and you're all on your own. You can ride the train back whenever you want. So you can stay as long as you want. But by then we were pretty hot and the palace is very crowded. It's amazing, obviously, very amazing to see. Do the audio tour. But we were really starting to be tired and
yeah, we kept sitting down. There's little benches. We were like, oh man, holy moly.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, by that time, you know, our day had already, you know, started many hours ago. Yeah. So anyways, but it was gorgeous.
Yeah.
The grounds are amazing. You'll see some photos that we, you know, have with this, but yeah, the grounds were amazing. To think that, you know, people could live such a lifestyle is amazing back then. But yeah, the architecture inside, everything was just amazing. So yeah, we really enjoyed that part of it. But we were tired by that time. We probably should have started, I would think, with that. And
we should have started in the palace and then ended with some bike riding. Yes,
yeah,
that would have been better.
And I don't know. Do you think it was worth it?
No, I think you should just go on your own. Book your train. The train's not that hard to get there, right?
No, that part's really easy. And if you wanted to do it on your own, it'd be great too. Or if you wanted to book a different kind of tour, I thought they were actually going to be touring us around the actual estate itself.
On the bikes, right?
Yeah, or even inside, I really thought so too.
Oh, right, that too.
Yeah, so it'd be nice to have more of that. So we ended up paying for a self-guided one. It was, you know, one where you put a little device next to your ear and it told us about, you know, each one of the artworks in the rooms, what it was used for and all that stuff. But yeah, it's amazing. It makes me really want to dive into and maybe get some more history.
Right?
Yeah, so, yep, but it was very cool. It was a great day. But I would say if you're going to be doing a tour, do maybe one where you're doing all that stuff first and then whatever you're going to be doing afterwards. So yeah, when you're fresh, you can walk around there and it'll be good.
Right. So we ended up having dinner there and getting back here pretty late. So we got back to Paris around, I think, 11, probably back in bed by 12 or so. So obviously the next morning...
Actually, after 12, it's closer to 1.
Yeah. Next morning when we could have been up bright and early because we were thinking about walking to the Notre Cathedral to get in line, because if you get there really early, the lines are better.
Yeah.
But we were so tired, we didn't get up. We slept until about, I don't know, 9 o'clock.
Yeah.
And so instead we worked out again and then got over there later, and the line was so long that that's the problem. We'd get to these places and go, oh, we don't want to wait in this line. We're not doing it. So we ended up that day just kind of having an easy day. We were then going to try to go to the Musée d'Orsay, because one night a week they're open late, and I got their night wrong, so we didn't get to do that either. So we had dinner, and that was we felt like a little bit of a wasted day.
Yeah.
Right.
Another epic
made
fail.
us feel guilty. Yes.
Yeah. We're here and we're missing out on all these things, so it starts adding up.
But we made a big comeback the next morning because we used that time in the evening to plan our next day trip to Strasbourg, which was the highlight, I would say, of this whole experience. Yeah. And that day was good.
Yeah, I would say that Strasbourg was, I love the architecture there, the feel of it. We rented bikes, of course, and then from there you kind of have like a loop you can do around the city. And so Jill wanted to start with the one that was in the forest, so we did. Yeah.
Before we jump to that, I wanted to say we did make another mistake. We bought our train tickets the day before we went, and they were very expensive. They say if you are going to book day trips to these other places, the farther in advance you can book those train tickets, the more money you will save. So that was a little bit of a surprise for how expensive it was, but we got there right away and we rented bikes at One City Tours, a great bike company. And then we headed straight out to the Robertceau Forest Trails.
Yeah,
and
great.
It was beautiful.
Yeah, again, the countryside in France is just amazing. There was waterways everywhere and it was beautiful. Gosh, it was so green and so pretty and the weather was beautiful. And yeah, I couldn't say more about that. That was gorgeous.
Unbelievable. We could have hiked for hours. Road bikes, there was hikes, biking, waterways. There was some area where people were swimming in the water.
Yeah, there's like probably 5 or 6 places when you get to the bike shop, they say, hey, make sure you see all these things. And one was the cathedral, and it was super busy. When we got there, it was a line like, I don't know, so long. But we ended up missing out on that as well because it just wasn't in the cards for the amount of time it would take to get in. And then there was a bridge that went across, and I forgot the name of the bridge, but you'll see a picture of it as well. But Yeah, so it was great. I mean, the visited
Bike
park.
ride was amazing, right? When we came back and turned in our bikes, we had the bikes for 4 hours. Then we walked all around it. So they call it Petite France, the little old city center of Strasbourg, and it's just like the most quaint little French village you've ever seen. It's just beautiful. We went to a restaurant called l'Oktoberfest, and we had the Alsatian meal, which is a combination of French and German food because it's right on the German border. So there's this combination, and we had pork knuckle with sauerkraut, and then this amazing salad that had the baguettes with goat cheese, the French and the German combination. It was really good.
Yeah, it was great. Yeah, we were just talking about how we hadn't eaten any of the French food yet, really, and there we go, we did it.
The one thing we were surprised about, all the French food, they always say that there's a lot of French fries in France, but fries come with every single thing you order here, pretty much everything.
Yeah, if you love French fries, it's the place to be.
They're everywhere.
Yeah,
right,
for sure.
So next morning we were again going to get up early and go to the Cathedral of Notre Dame. And we slept in again because we were out such on a long day, and my back was sore after all the bike riding.
Well, the other thing is when you're walking and you're all day long, you're exerting that the energy of walking. We probably do walk, I'd say 7-8 miles a day, pretty easy, and then on top of everything else that you're doing. So yeah, it gets to the point where you just get tired and you want to sleep in, and so we did a little bit of fail there as well. So yeah, we probably should have, after a while, done more with trains and things like that, but we didn't. So
we didn't, and we walked over to Notre Dame again, and the line was so long, as you'll see in our video again. So we were like, okay, maybe we'll just go find something to eat, and we ate at a great restaurant tonight, Indiana.
Actually, we looked around a little bit. We went to the
Latin Quarter.
Latin Quarter, which we thought was pretty darn cool. Actually, neat area. Cool. Yeah, and we walked through
Saint Germain.
So that was very cool. Both are really nice areas, so I would say spend a little bit of time in both one of those because they're really neat areas, and we ended up actually eating right next to that. So yeah, it was really cool.
And now we did have a crepe, a delicious crepe tonight too.
And we had some entertainment along the way. So there was somebody in the middle of the street that was acting a little crazy, and so it was funny watching everybody's faces when they were going by him. So it was funny, and we'll put a little blurb in about him as well. So he was quite a character, and when he knew we were looking at him, he really turned it on at that point. So yeah, and
that's part of the experience of being in Paris. Everyone says sit at a cafe and just people watch, and we made a point to sit at the cafe, order a crepe, have some coffee, and we really did some people watching. And again, that's part of the Parisian experience. So that was fun.
Yep, it was great.
Yes, so now we're back to, even though we made a lot of mistakes, I did say to Mark, okay, we feel like we failed in all these areas, but did we have a good time? And we did have a lot of fun. And we did what we like to do. We did miss a lot of art, a lot of museums, and people will probably say, oh, how could you do that? But we did what we enjoyed, so that was the highlight.
I mean, I would have done things a little bit differently probably, but yeah, we still had a good time. So that's, in the end, that's what counts. So like you always have to say it to be authentic, so we're authentically lazy, I guess.
All right, so let's close with our questions. Overall feelings about this location, favorites, highlights.
So we've been traveling, which we mentioned before, we've been traveling now at a pretty quick pace. And I would say being in a city makes me, like when it's really this busy, I get a little bit tired. And then when we get outside, I get revived really quickly, and my energy level certainly jumps up. So I would say that, right now I'm still feeling really good about like our decisions to be full-time travelers. But I would say our decisions to be doing this many busy cities in a row, which would be, listen, we started in California, all that was busy, of course, because it was summer. And then from California, went to Vegas, busy. And then from when we left there, of course, we started in London, busy. And then when we went from there, we went to Edinburgh, busy, Dublin, busy, Paris, busy. So I would probably do something maybe where you take a break and you do something maybe a little bit more, like maybe mellow at a point, and then break it up a little bit. But yeah, I would say overall I'm still really happy about all of our decisions, but I'm learning our travel style, what we would like a little bit better down there.
Every city we learn a little more. I feel like if we had spent 3 days in Strasbourg, maybe, that would have made a huge difference because it was just slower pace, so beautiful, slow down. but you just don't know until you
I would even
do
spend a
these
couple days in
things.
Giverny.
That too.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, so I mean, it was really now
Right.
those people that we met that were there for 3 months. I probably couldn't stay there that long. There's probably not enough to do, but just to being around a mellow area that's just beautiful and green is just I don't know. To me, it just brings me right up. It gives me my energy level, and I can move on from there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I feel the same way. I also started to feel tired of being a tourist. I kind of felt that burnout of in Paris, and I'm tired of being a tourist. I want to just live life a few days and not feel that pressure. I feel that like the pressure, go out and see this.
Yeah, look at all the stuff I'm missing.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
So that's one thing that we're really noticing. How do we feel we did on our routines, working out, eating well? How do you think you?
I'd say pretty good. I would say I joined a local gym here for a month. So on our
Park Fitness.
Yeah, Park Fitness. They are also in Nice, which our hotel there is going to be right next to the Park Fitness. So yep, I made it there. I met some interesting people at the gym, some locals, which was nice.
Mm-hmm.
Even had a young kid trying to show me how to do a muscle up today. So I think most of my workout today was him showing me how to do a muscle up. So maybe one day I'll get there. But
good.
yeah, so it was good. Yeah, I'd say, and I'd say our overall eating was not horrible. It wasn't the greatest, but not horrible.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I think I did not join the gym. When Mark would go to the gym in the morning, I would do yoga, and then my goal was to just do yoga twice a week, and then I would do a YouTube cardio, 20 minutes twice a week. So we were doing enough walking. I felt like that was good for me, and then enjoyed the food, and we're trying to enjoy and also stay healthy. So we didn't eat as many fries. We didn't take the fries all the time, and that's how we tried to stay a little bit healthier.
Yeah.
So we feel pretty good.
Yep.
Yep. And as a couple, how are we doing?
Hey, you were just asking me, do I dislike you yet?
Are you sick of me yet? I said, are you sick of me yet?
I told her, actually, no, I'm not sick of her one bit. I still love her today as much as I did when we started this, so it's all good.
Me too as well, but it is, you have to be patient with each other. I think both of us are doing a good job at being patient because it gets frustrating, directions of course, and all the mistakes we made, we could take it out on each other, and we haven't. We've kind of rolled with it.
Yeah.
We've rolled with it.
Yeah, we still have technical issues. I think our phone, our service we have with our current carrier is so slow here, and so I got an eSIM thinking that would speed it up, but that still hasn't done anything. So a lot of times I feel like we're really hurting just because
frustrated.
Yeah. And it was funny, one of the guys on the tour, he was actually from California, and he pulled up something on his phone like 2 seconds. I'm like, what? How's that work? So yeah, we're working on that part still. So yeah, it'll get better.
Yep. And then last thing, how are we feeling about our new life? I know you covered a little bit of that. And our travel style, and I think, like you said it well, we feel ready to slow down.
Yeah. So the next spot we're going to in Nice is going to be very busy as well. But hey, listen, I'm still excited for it, and after that, we're going to settle down for a month. So I'm looking excited for both of those. Listen, how do I complain? I pinch myself every day.
That's
So
right.
life is good.
Yeah. Life is good. We're enjoying it, and we're ready to slow down.
Yep.
So we'll be making our next video from Nice.
Yeah. All right, everybody.
Bye, everyone.
Have a great day.